Welcome to the Invite Health podcast, where our degreed healthcare professionals are excited to offer you the most important health and wellness information you need to make informed choices about your health. You can learn more about the products discussed in each of these episodes and all that Invite Health has to offer at www.invitehealth.com/podcast. First-time customers can use promo code podcast at checkout for an additional 15% off your first purchase. Let's get started.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's an important time to shed light on this very problematic and deadly disease. We know that over 300,000 women each year in the United States are diagnosed with breast cancer, and over 40,000 women die each year from metastatic breast cancer. This is a major problem, and we know that there are many factors that can lead to breast cancer. We certainly can look at diet being a major influencer of this. We can certainly look at different chemical exposures that can also be linked to breast cancer. So today I want to talk about breast health in general. What should women be doing when it comes to healthy diet, and what dietary supplements are most supportive for breast tissue? So let's get right to it. I am Dr. Amanda Williams, Scientific Director at Invite Health, and I get this question quite often from women, especially postmenopausal women who have concerns about fluctuations in their hormone levels, putting them at a greater risk for developing breast cancer as well as heart disease. And we know that the two go hand in hand. We oftentimes look at estrogen as being the big bad wolf, but unfortunately there's a lot of misinformation when it comes to estrogen. Estrogen itself can be incredibly protective to not only breast tissue, but for the cardiovascular system. And as women grow older and go through menopause, their risk of developing cardiovascular disease goes up exponentially. So we know that estrogen plays a role as a cardioprotective hormone, but we also know that estrogen metabolites, the breakdown of estrogen in the system, can lead to problems such as breast cancer and endometrial cancers. So we always have to be aware of the fact that not all hormones are bad, but sometimes the metabolites or the breakdown byproducts of those hormones can lead to serious consequences. So I'm not going to talk today in detail about breast cancer, but rather talk about what we can be doing as we grow older when it comes to maintaining healthy breast tissue. So we know that when it comes to an anti-inflammatory diet, this is key to maintaining a low inflammatory state in the body. And inflammation in the body, chronic low-grade inflammation, is the backbone to every single chronic disease state out there, including cancers. So adherence to a Mediterranean diet has been shown to be very beneficial when it comes to protecting our cells from developing cancer. This is why we should all be adhering to a Mediterranean diet each and every single day. We also know that there are other changes that can occur within our hormone levels as we grow older that can make us more prone to alterations in cellular division. So to not get too complicated with that topic, we can look at something such as fibrocystic breast changes. And we know that many women can experience these non-cancerous lumps or abnormalities within the breast tissue. Roughly 50% of women experience benign changes in their breast tissue during their lifetime. And the most common time that women will experience this is usually in their 40s. The question we must ask is, why is this happening? Why are so many women experiencing these alterations or changes in breast tissue? And what can women be doing to avoid these benign, non-cancerous changes? So certainly we can look at hormone balance. And this is where formulations such as the Menopause Advanced HX can be very helpful for women of all ages. While the name is called menopause, this is a great product even for women who are in their 20s. It is a combination of key nutrients that have been shown in clinical trials to be incredibly supportive for hormone balance as well as for fighting off free radicals that can do damage to our breast tissue. This contains different nutrients such as Estro G100. Estro G100 is a unique blend of 3 different herbal extracts that has been shown in human clinical trials to target many of the symptoms that women can experience throughout their lives when it comes to hot flashes, mood changes, low energy, disruptions in sleep, and just that overall sense of yuck that many women can experience throughout their lives. So when women have menstrual cycles, many times we look at PMS, for example, and that low energy, that just sense of just moodiness, feeling anxious, feeling on edge. The Menopause Advanced HX contains the nutrients to help to combat that. And for women who are going through menopause, who have more significant issues when it comes to night sweats or hot flashes, that combination of the Estro G, the Nova Soy, along with that grapeseed extract really can help to support a better hormone balance and negate many of those symptoms that women can experience. This also contains rhodiola extract to give you that energy and that general sense of feel good that so many women are seeking. So let's go back to fibrocystic changes that occur within the breast tissue and why this is such a prevalent issue, because they estimate 50%, but some studies go all the way up to 90% of women, once they hit about 40 years old, experience these benign non-cancerous changes to the breast tissue. So we know that diet is the main issue for most women. So looking at the standard American diet, the ultra-processed foods are not friendly to our breast tissue. So if we have high fiber intake coming from a Mediterranean diet, having fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, this really allows the breast tissue to have a much better mechanism when it comes to the aging process. We also know that when it comes to lifestyle, for women who have high amounts of stress, have disrupted sleep patterns, they are definitely more prone to the development of fibrocystic changes in their breast tissue. Now, for many women, this can be incredibly alarming if they can find a lump in their breast tissue and automatically think the worst, think, oh, this must be breast cancer. And that usually is not the case. It's usually fibrocystic changes that are occurring that can definitely be modified just through diet and lifestyle modifications. Adding in nutrients such as indole-3-carbinol with DIM, that is the powerful active constituents that come from cruciferous vegetables. We know that cruciferous vegetables have these active bioactive compounds in them that give us a significant amount of ability to fight off cellular changes, not only in the breast, but also within the uterus, and for men, for their prostate health. And we've seen from major research institutions such as Karmanos Cancer Institute and Strain Cancer Institute that the indole-3-carbinol and DIM that those wonderful cruciferous vegetables provide us can really help when it comes to healthy cell division. So supplementing with indole-3-carbinol on top of making sure that you have adequate exposure to those cruciferous vegetables in your diet. That's things like broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts and spinach. And maybe you don't like all cruciferous vegetables, but there are probably some that you do like, and we should be making sure that we have these cruciferous vegetables in our diet on a regular basis. This is once again why adherence to a Mediterranean diet really sets us up to have healthy breast tissue. So we supplement with indole-3-carbinol to get the extra benefit from those powerful compounds. Then we eat the cruciferous vegetables. We also want to make sure that we have omega-3 fatty acids on board. Breast tissue responds really nicely to flaxseed, which is the plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Now, the reason why flaxseed is a preferred form for breast tissue is because it also works in a sense as a phytoestrogen. So it's giving the body this nice exposure to healthy estrogen balance on top of having the omega-3s to ease inflammation and to support healthy cell division. So we can look at different nutrients, including the indole-3-carbinol, including the high flax lignans, and we also have the option of using the organic flax powder, which is going to provide us the fiber, the protein, the vitamins, the minerals, the omega-3s, everything all in one single scoop. So that is an excellent choice if you so choose to do the powder over using the soft gels. So we have many different options, and we know that when it comes to other nutrients that can be incredibly supportive to breast tissue, we can look at vitamin E. Vitamin E has been shown to be highly effective in actually reducing a lot of the premenstrual breast tenderness and pain that many women can experience before they start their menstrual cycle. Oftentimes their breast tissue becomes incredibly tender. And they have done clinical research trials showing that when women supplement with vitamin E, this actually minimizes that tenderness that so many women experience. So taking in your omega-3s coming from the flaxseed, you can also use fish oil, by the way, but we know that the flax has that wonderful exposure to those phytoestrogens. And then taking in our natural vitamin E, and this is key, we don't want to use synthetic vitamin E, we want to use natural vitamin E. We know that vitamin D is also incredibly important when it comes to healthy cell division. So when we think down that road of negative things such as breast cancer, we always want to make sure that we have a good serum blood level of vitamin D in our system. So we always want to make sure that we keep our serum vitamin D level at 50 to 75, and that's nanograms per milliliter. So if you have a blood test done, you want to look and see where your level is. If it's down at 30 or below, we definitely want to make sure that you are supplementing with adequate amount of vitamin D3 each day. We can also look at grapes, and coming from grapes, we get the trans resveratrol. We can see just through nutrition-based studies that high intake of the polyphenols coming from powerful fruits and vegetables can be very helpful when it comes to targeting those fibrocystic breast changes. So we know that if we supplement with resveratrol or grapeseed extract, this is also a wonderful way to give added support at that cell level for healthy cell division. So there are many things that we can be doing as far as lifestyle modifications, managing our stress, adhering to a Mediterranean diet, and then incorporating in breast healthy nutrients such as flaxseed or fish oil. You can also choose krill oil, that's fine as well. Natural vitamin E, taking vitamin D, and then, of course, the indole 3-carbinol with DIM. So when it comes to the health of breast tissue, do make sure that you reach out to one of our nutritional experts. They are there to help guide you, make sure that you are on the right supplements for your specific needs. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Invite Health podcast. Remember, you can find all of our episodes for free wherever you listen to podcasts or by visiting invitehealth.com/podcasts. Do make sure that you subscribe and you leave us a review. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we will see you next time for another episode of the Invite Health podcast.